Hello, this is Shepherd. Welcome to 2026, another year with great expectations. I know every time a year switches, we have renewed aspirations, goals, resolutions. So much is not changing about us. I read an article by a friend of mine who said, there's no happy new year without a happy new you. So it's usually very important that there's a new you for you to dive into a new year. This is Shepherd. Shepherd is about the purposes of life using our gifts, experiences, and personalities. And today we have a special, very, very special guest, very close family friend who we've seen walk with a lot of faith in matters sometimes unspeakable. And she's just going to tell us her story. We're going to put it in quite some segments because we need not to miss any bit of how God works through our strengths and weaknesses. So welcome with me, Miss Alice Nayebare. In a short while, she's going to tell us a little bit about her. And yes, she's saved, I know, but what salvation means to her. Alice, you are very much welcome. Thank you. This is Shepherd. Shepherd, we talk about life. We talk about, in fact, it's an acronym for those who have been following us for a long time. A stands for spiritual gifts. H stands for heart. A stands for abilities. P stands for personalities. And E, experience. So we use all of that to understand the purpose of God for our lives. Please give us your introduction, Miss Alice Nayebare. Who is Alice Nayebare?
Thank you, Pastor Anthony. Thank you for inviting me. I'm really greatly honored to be here. And Happy New Year.
To you too.
I should say Happy New You.
Yes, Happy New You, right?
Yes.
It's a lot better that way.
Yeah,
Yes.
Thank you. Alice Nayebare is a lawyer by profession. I'm a mother. I'm an intercessor. And by God's grace, I'm an upcoming farmer. Yeah.
Okay.
And it is a new interest that I'm becoming fond of, and I'm enjoying it.
Wow.
Yeah.
I like the bit of upcoming farmer. Is that a revelation? Is that something you dreamt about? All these things we find as we are growing, that I think I have a niche for farming.
No, it is something that came through my encounter with the Lord. I should say that I happened to be an ex-prisoner. And while in prison, God touched me in an amazing way.
Yeah.
And in the process, when He released me, He gave me a purpose to pursue. And one of those issues to pursue, or purposes to pursue, includes rehabilitation of ex-prisoners.
Wow.
Through farming.
Wow.
Teaching them life skills.
Wow.
Good farming practices.
Wow.
So that they can be self-sustaining.
Wow.
And generate income for their own livelihoods.
We are in for some conversations here. Lawyer, ex-prisoner, farmer, rehabilitation. It's going to be very, very interesting. And that would lead me to my next question, Alice. What is the most unforgettable encounter that I know there are quite many, but the most unforgettable encounter you have had with the Lord?
Thank you indeed. Answering that question, it's like you have a lot of things to pick from.
Yeah, I would imagine.
There are so many interesting encounters, but I cannot talk about them all. I will pick out one particular encounter I had with the Lord. It started in a very painful manner, but at the end of it all, it turned my life around. And that is about prison.
Prison break. Wait, the series is coming. Please carry on, Alice.
Yeah. In August 2013, to be precise, my dad was murdered.
Sorry about
Together with him, 5 workers of his were also murdered.
Wow.
His car was robbed.
Wow.
A niece was raped.
Wow.
All in one incident. One night.
Bloodshed there.
Yes, at home in the village, and the following day we woke up to phone calls. And those phone calls informed us of what had happened. Initially, we had learned that only 2 people had been murdered. By about 10, we learned that there were 4. By midday, we got to learn that there were 6. By this time, we thought that we started preparing ourselves to go to the village for burial and everything. At that time, a narrative had formed.
In your time of preparation
between
these arrangements,
yes, between
announcement,
yes, and 12 o'clock.
Wow.
A narrative had formed on social media indicating that I and my siblings and my mom and our workers, family friends, our in-laws were involved in the murder. Actually, my mom was arrested immediately.
Where was mommy? Just take a little bit. Where was mommy when daddy was murdered with the workers?
My dad and my mom had divorced.
Okay.
2 years prior
Okay.
to the murder, and now my dad was married to another woman with whom he was living.
Okay.
So actually every male person in that home, in my daddy's second home, died that night. It's only the women and the children that survived.
Very strange.
Yes. Yes. So my mom was arrested immediately. She was living like 300 meters away from the scene of the crime. The rest of us were here in Kampala, doing our businesses and our work with our respective engagements. So by midday of that same day, the narrative is out, indicating that I and my young brother had been arrested at the airport, fleeing the country. That police dogs had traced the murderers to my mom's home. That blood-stained clothes and weapons of murder were found at my mom's place. And even when I tried to call friends to tell them what had happened, I met with cold respect.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because the narrative has already gone viral.
And interestingly for us, it's like we were the last ones to know that we were being suspected. The whole world knew that we were the suspects.
The devil is a liar. Oh, my. Go
ahead. We set off to go to the village at about 4 p.m. on our way to Mbarara, to Kirula, where we come from.
Yeah.
We had reached Mpigi. A friend of mine called me and said, guys, go prepared, well knowing that you're going to be arrested. By this time, we were already under surveillance of the security forces. We were being tracked using our phones. And when we reached Rusheri, where we come from,
sure, that's close to the president's village. Eh?
Yes.
Okay.
And actually, the president knew us at a personal level, especially my parents, because my late dad was his bush war mobilizer. He used it to mobilize things, cows, money.
So the president would take interest.
Yes, he took interest, and it happened in such an interesting manner that when the murder happened, the president was in Rwakitura to celebrate his 40th wedding anniversary.
Yes, I know, it was around that time.
And so the interest that came from him was so enormous. Wow. And that put the police force, the investigators, on tenterhooks. We were informed that he called the then IGP saying that, please give me the murderers immediately. And since the narrative had already formed, we were the first suspects that were mentioned to his ears. So, and by this time, my mom, her workers, the in-laws, some of my siblings that were living in the village were already in the police custody. So I think by God's guidance, we felt that it was not safe for us to go to the scene directly, because we felt maybe these people will do mob justice on us.
Yeah, they could actually.
And there were words already circulating that they might kill us. So we informed ourselves correctly, I believe, that the first stop should be at Tushere police station, Chulhura police station. So we went under the guise of taking food to mom and the people who were already in custody. We introduced ourselves and immediately we were apprehended.
Now moving from here.
We were apprehended, we were confronted with hard questions. Statements were taken from us. By midnight, we were loaded on a police pickup and sent to Riz Regional Police in Mbarara. We reached there. If I'm to tell every nitty-gritty of that story, it will not end. No, but fortunately, I have documented this. My book is going to come out.
I'm looking forward.
Before the end of this year, by God's grace.
Have you found the title yet of the book?
Yes, I'm thinking it is going to be called The Accused, or The Case of My Life.
Case of Your Life.
But I think this is going to depend on the publishers also, on how they will advise. Okay. But at the moment, I'm looking at those two titles. Okay. Yeah.
Just go back. I know this a lot, and our viewers and listeners, this is very important, and that's why we say that our experiences also shape our trajectory, but also more importantly, the purpose that God works behind the scenes of all of these things, and this is what we want to get to the bottom of. You are a lawyer, and then there's this narrative that you have murdered your father and all of these other workers. What does that have on your career? Like your bosses or your employers, when they had this, what was their immediate reaction?
Pastor Anthony, if I may give you a little bit of the background of my career. By God's grace, I had led a very good trajectory of career development and progression. Had just returned to Uganda from Arusha, having worked in Arusha for 6 years. And had also just returned from the Netherlands from pursuing my master's degree. And I came to join UN Women in Uganda as a senior legal specialist, and I was feeling good.
Travel, land.
And here I was in international civil service. And I was feeling I had arrived, and then this happens. And the first thing that hit me most was my name. My name. Actually, the pain of my name being soiled hurt more than the pain of being in prison.
Oh, yeah.
And at that time, I was so much obsessed with my name, a lot more than any other thing. And emails started pouring in from all over the world, because the news was read all over the world. It was all over the social media, everywhere. Emails came in from the Philippines, from the UK, from the US, from Canada, from South Africa, from a friend of mine I had met from Jamaica. And I used to meet these at international space.
Yeah.
And given the so much coverage, media coverage we received, and the damning evidence that was being talked about in the papers, and the accusations from people who pretended to be eyewitnesses, I think, to be honest, many people believed.
Yeah.
that we were guilty. Yeah.
Wow.
That is the perception that I could get. But of course, and as a result, we saw many of our friends fell off.
Yeah, definitely. I can't keep up with a murderer.
Yeah.
You know, is being a murderer, but killing your own
Yeah.
parents,
Yeah.
your father. That's a different story.
Yeah, and the accusation was that we were killing him to get his property. You know.
Usually that's the easy way.
Yeah.
Yeah, to sum up evidence.
Yeah.
Wow. My listeners, are you listening? Now, I'm just going to ask Alice, how does God speak through our experiences? You're talking about this. Did you have an encounter with God, even in the deepest of such an experience?
Yeah, yes, Pastor Anthony. After 2 months in police custody, we were later charged.
2 months?
2 months, because they were looking for evidence and they had nothing.
Writing up and
Yeah.
editing and all of that.
Yeah. Then we were charged and taken to prison. I will not go through the nitty-gritties. You will find them in my book. While in prison, prison has a way of squeezing you and putting you in a particular corner. And if you allow your heart to be softened and broken in prison so that you can be repaired, it is a beautiful place to be.
Okay.
But if you allow it to also impact you with pain and anger and resentment and unforgiveness, it can also break you. So in prison, we found ourselves as a family spending more time in prayer. More time in prayer and reflection. And after like 2 months, we were remanded, I remember, in October 2013. And I think 2 months of prayer, of waiting on the Lord came through and spoke. What did he speak? He told me, Alice, you are the reason why your family is here.
Oh my.
And he took me back to the words he spoke to me when I was in prison. When I was at the university in Makerere in 1997. I had a beautiful relationship with him when we were at the university, and he told me, I'm appointing you a watchman over your father's house. Based on Ezekiel, I have appointed you a watchman over the house of Israel.
Yes, I think it's that.
Yes. If you hear the warning and you do not pass it on to the people, you are responsible.
Yeah, even talks about bloodshed.
Yes, their blood is on your head. And God had spoken to me then. And when I walked in that call at the university, He started revealing so many things in my life, in the lives of my family members, and I would take them to God in prayer, and a lot changed. I remember at that time He had spoken to me that there was a lot of fasts in me, but I did not know what that meant, much as I'm not a firstborn.
Like number one.
Number one being the first one to achieve this or that in the family, being the first one to open this door and that. And a lot of fasts in my life, but I did not know that God was calling me for
setting you up,
setting me up for something.
Yeah.
So while in prison, He told me, everyone is here because of you. The dead are dead because of you. You slept on the job. You are a watchman. Where did the murderers pass? Where did they come through if you are watching? And I remember the word that came to me from Isaiah was, when I came calling, you are not at your post. I looked for you, you are not anywhere to be seen. When I called you, did not answer. And indeed, there were such moments I remember through dreams, through visions, through prompting in your spirit, saying, do this, and you are like, you are carried away with the success of your career. And so many things. Everything is ticking. Life is good. You are enjoying it. you have acquired a few vanities of life. And so when he spoke to me, I remember it was in the afternoon. I entered into a fast that I had not planned for. Esther fast, and I cried and I prayed and I repented. But what amused me was the forgiveness that I received, the peace after breaking down and owning up. And then he spoke to me and said, I will release you. But when I release you, you will go back to that role. Establish an altar and pray and watch. And whatever happens, I will hold you accountable.
Oh my. This is a God you don't play with. Yeah?
You don't play with it. So it is now 12 years since prison. And is it 12 years since prison? No, we came out 2015. It is 10 years since prison.
10,
12 years since the arrest. Since the arrest.
Okay.
And by God's grace, I have done my best to be a watchman, to go back and redeem things that, you know, the enemy had stolen. I don't want to claim that I'm a superhuman or that we have achieved everything, but I believe I have seen God's faithfulness. I have seen an ongoing restoration and healing, and I am certain and confident that one day I will come and present a perfect story of what the Lord has done and how he has healed and turned around everything.
Wow. We're coming back in part 2. I am very, very much intrigued and ready to hear what happens. You know, God is telling you you're going to be a watchman, you slept on the job, and if anything ever happens again, I'll still hold you. Yes, I'm going to release you from here, but there is quite a number of things you ought to do while you're out. And those are the things we're going to discuss in our part 2. So don't go away. Relate your life. You could not have been in prison, but you see there are all sorts of prison metaphors out there. Are you able to relate how God can have these encounters even at our lowest? This is Shepherd. See you for part 2. Do not go very far.